Hello, and welcome to today's tutorial on data entry process of our third information module, that is session-related information or details for the school data entry operator. To begin with the process, open your preferred browser. It can be Google Chrome, it can be Mozilla Firefox, whichever you prefer, open it. In my case, it would be Mozilla Firefox. Once you open it, in the top bar URL section, enter the address of the EMMIS website, that is emmis.sikkim.edtech.in, as you can see on the screen. Once you enter the details, click on Search. Now once you hit Enter, you will get redirected to the landing page of EMMIS, wherein you will find 4 menus that are basically Home, School, GIS, and Login. You'll also find the badging of EMMIS, that is basically Education Management Monitoring System, and under which we have the Get Started button. Now below this badging, we also find the About section of the landing page of the EMMIS website as a whole, and we have some data, number of schools registered, number of employee and students registered in the portal. We get to find the details. So in order to begin with the data entry process, you're first to log into our dashboard. In order to log in, you can either click on Login or Get Started. So I'll be clicking on Get Started. Once I click on it, a login page of EMMIS application will open up, where you will be requiring your username and then password, and the captcha code, which is this one, as you can see on the screen, to begin with the data entry process by logging into the dashboard. Your username is basically the email you provided during the registration process. So if you've not registered your school user account, then you can move ahead with this Getting Started tutorial to understand the process for registering your school or school user into the EMMIS portal, or you can also view our previous tutorials on registering your school. If you've registered, you can move in with the login process. So username, you can enter your school operator's email address, which you had provided. So I'll be entering my email. After I enter my email, I'll be required to enter the password. When you log in for the first time, a default password is usually sent within the verification mail. So you can enter the default password to log in for the first time. However, if you've changed, you'll have to enter the new password that you've created. After entering the password, which is the default password, insert the captcha code. I'll be entering the captcha code just the way it is on the image that is shown on the left hand side. Make sure you don't insert any spaces within the letters, so after you enter all the credentials, you can click on Sign In. Once you click on Sign In, as you can see, the dashboard of the school opens up with the name of the school on the top bar section, which is Test School Sikkim. It will also display who has logged in currently. We are logged in as a school operator. In our previous tutorials, we have already configured School Information module and School Infrastructure Information module, as we can find by clicking on this. Some of the data has been verified, predefined data has been verified, while other data are in the process of getting verified by the school admin. In today's module, since our concern is basically on the data entry process of the school session information, which is the third module of school information, so we will be directly moving on with the data entry process of session information. To configure session information or session details, you can move towards the left-hand side menu, where you can see that the session-related details is on the fourth menu of the left-hand side menu bar. In order to proceed, you can click on Session-Related Details, and on clicking Session-Related Details, you'll find that previously you had configured Academic Session 2022, and for that particular academic session, you will be required the following details: the session-based information, boarding, environment protection, Pgi and other indicators, fee details, health program, pedagogical plan, CBSE other information. In today's tutorial, we will be going through each and every module one by one so we can understand the process and fields that are involved in these various submodules of the academic session. I'll be moving on first with the session-based information. Currently, you can see that our session information percentage is being shown as 0% configuration, and moreover, in session-related details, it is showing not configured. Each and every submodule is currently not configured, so I'll be moving on with session-based information. In order to begin with the data entry process of session-based information, you can click on Add. As soon as you click on Add, the page of school session details will open up, wherein you'll be able to enter numerous details as applicable for your school. So the first section is basically the number of instructional days in the previous academic year. How many instructional days were conducted in the 2021 academic session, so you're required to enter that. For primary, you can enter the records based on your attendance register or any other recording module. I'll be entering 210 for primary. Secondary 230. Since we don't have higher secondary, we are not configuring this module. In the second session, we have average school hours for children per day, number of hours children stay in school. For example, 5 hours and 40 minutes. These sort of details are required to be provided, so you can write 6 hours. For upper primary, it would be 8 hours. Similarly, for this section, you have 8 hours. This way, you can configure the details. Now we have the average working hours for teachers, number of hours teachers stay in school. Example, 8 hours as well here. So 8 hours. Secondary, we have 8 hours. And we have CC implementation in the school, whether CC is implemented in the school or not. For primary, if it is implemented, you can click on yes. If not, you can leave it as it is. Same for primary, upper primary, and for secondary, whether it is implemented or not. I'll be choosing yes, since it has been implemented. So in the similar manner, are cumulative records of pupils being maintained or not? If yes, you can provide yes. If not, leave it as it is. In this case, no. Likewise, it is no for parents as well. So I'll be leaving this field. Now, school special training details only for government and government-aided schools. So this module is just for the government school, whether any out-of-school children enrolled in school are attending special training. So if any students are attending special training, you can provide the details as yes. Now if some students are preparing for some sort of special training, you can provide the details in this field. If your students are not preparing or attending any sort of special training, you can just click on no and proceed to the other section. So in this case, it is no. I'll just be moving on to other sections. So we have other session details, only for government and government-aided schools as well. Number of students attending remedial teaching in current year. How students are appearing for remedial teaching. I can give some value, like 25 students are studying. Whether the school has received grade supplementary material in previous academic year. So if received, you can click on yes. Whether full set of textbooks are received in current academic year. So if full sets of textbooks has been received in the academic year or not, I will click on yes. And which month are textbooks received? You'll have to enter the month when the textbooks were received. So I'll be entering February, and we have the following details: availability of free textbooks, teaching learning materials, and play materials in academic year. If any sort of these textbooks, like teaching learning materials, free textbooks, and play materials has been provided, you can provide the details as applicable. Whether complete set of free textbooks received. So primary, if complete set of textbooks has been received, you can click on yes. If not, you can leave it as it is. I'll be choosing upper primary and secondary, whether TLM available for each grade or not. So I'll be choosing yes for each and every section. If applicable, you can click yes. If not applicable, leave it as it is. whether play material, games, and sports equipment available for each grade or not. So for every grade for which the sports and games equipment is applicable, you can provide the details as yes. Details of visit to the school during the previous academic year. So this is also for the government-aided school. It usually asks to fill the details of CRC coordinators visiting the schools. So number of visits by CRC coordinators, I'll be entering 5. Number of visits by block level officer, BRC, BEO, you can enter the details. Number of visits by district state level officers. This way you can configure whatever is applicable for your school. After I enter all the details, I will click on Save. Once saved, you will get a success message wherein you will be able to receive the confirmation that the details has been configured. You will also find that the status which was not configured earlier has changed into configured, but still a red badging is being shown beside this configured icon. This means the data has not been verified, and only after verification it turns to green. The verification process is usually done by the concerned school admin of the school. So once you've configured all the details into submission for the verification process, if there is any update, any edit that you want to initiate, you can click on View and Manage, and you can change the details. If not, you can click on Back. Similarly, we will be configuring for the boarding information. Now for boarding information, you can click on Add. Before doing that, we will move to our dashboard and find how many information has been completed for session information. As you can see, 12% of session information has been completed. Now that is basically since we entered our first module, that is session-based information module. Back to boarding information, in order to configure, click on Add. Once you click on it, you will have this one section where you will be able to provide the details of whether boarding residential facilities are available for the following stage, level, mark 0 if unavailable. Are boarding facilities available or not? If available, you can provide the details. If not, you can save it as the value being 0. Since that school here has no boarding facilities being provided, I'll not configure any values out here and click on Save. Once you do that, it gets configured and you'll receive a message out here, as you can see on the top right corner. Moving with environment protection. In order to configure environment protection, you'll be required to enter this Add button. Once you click on it, environmental protection opens up. So target date for stopping use of polythene. We have numerous environmental protection initiatives that we are required to enter the details if applicable to our school or not. So these are the formats based on UDISC. So we'll be entering all these details for our school. For environmental protection details for academic session 2022, that is from 4th January 2022 to 31st January 2022, target date for stopping use of polythene would be when. If there is any target set by the school to stop the use of polythene, you can enter the details. If you're planning to stop the usage of polythene by February 2022, you can enter the details, whether trees have been planted by students in school, at home, in neighborhood, in the current academic year. If trees have been planted in the academic session or will be planted in the academic session, you can enter the details. Whether there is proper disposal of solid waste. If applicable, yes, I've configured that. Whether school is using energy-saving and energy-efficient equipment, yes. Irrigation is the only means of watering in the garden. Irrigation is not the only main source of water because we have significant rainfall in this region, so it is not just the option of irrigating water into the garden. Whether wastewater from RO plants for drinking water is harvested, recycled, whether the water harvesting is done in your school or not, I'll be clicking No. Whether children are taught how to audit the use of water, and whether they're being encouraged to take it up at home, so this is not being implemented as of now. Whether environmental literacy is promoted through integration academics. If applicable, you can click on Yes. If not, you can click on No. Whether conservation of the environment is promoted. Yes, definitely it is being promoted. The total amount of water conserved in liters by students and teachers. We are required to enter the value. How many liters are conserved by teachers and students? Currently, we don't have that value set, so just skip this part. Whether roof harvesting is being taken by a school, whether roof harvesting is initiated or not, you can enter those details. I'll be choosing yes. Whether school ensures maintenance of all water faucets, pipes, to prevent any leakages, yes. Whether the organic waste is being recycled or not, I'm choosing yes. Whether the school is making effort to reduce the use of paper by adopting its solutions. In this, we can click on no. Currently, there's not been any initiative to change the scenario. Whether there is a system for disposal of electronic waste. Currently, there is no system. Whether plantation gardening has been done in and around the school. If yes, you can click on yes. Whether the school is using solar energy or not. Currently, it is not using. Whether the school is promoting awareness amongst children and parents on environmental conservation and cleanliness. Yes. Whether children are taking up water auditing at school. No. Total trees planted. Number. We are required to enter the number of trees that we have planted in the particular academic session. It can be some value, about 50 saplings. Since we have not entered our integer value, this is 0. Therefore, if some of the details are not configured, you won't be able to save it. So you're required to first configure those details and then proceed with save. Now if I click on save, my details will be saved, and as you can see, it has been configured under environmental protection, so I'll be able to see that. If I click on view and manage, I can edit the details as per the applicability in my school. Go to the dashboard section, and you will be able to see that 37% of session information has been completed. Now moving on to Pgi and other indicators. In order to configure Pgi and other indicators, Pgi stands for Performance Grading Index. Click on it, and you'll be required to enter the details of the indicators, other indicators alongside Pgi indicators as per the school. Whether the school has constituted youth club or not. If there is a youth club in your school, you can enter yes. If not, no. Currently, there is no youth club. Whether the school has constituted Eco Club or not. If there is Eco Club, you can provide the detail as yes. Whether teacher identity cards are issued to all teachers in the school or not. If teacher with ID cards has been issued in all the schools, enter the details. If not, you can just click on no. Now we have Pgi indicators as per the UDISC format. Number of teachers with Aadhaar or whose ID is seeded in any electronic database. Provide the figure for the number of teachers. Whether the school has in place a system to capture student attendance electronically. If there is any biometric device or an application that has been facilitated for taking up the attendance module, you can click on yes. If not, you can choose no. In our school, we are using biometric, so I'll be selecting yes. Whether the school has in place a system to capture teacher attendance electronically. If there is a module or any system that is integrated in your school to take the attendance of teachers, you can click on yes. Since biometric is also applicable for teachers, I will be clicking on yes. Next, has the school evaluation been completed or not? In this case, it has not been completed, hence, I will be clicking on no. So we have further 2 modules. Has school made improvement plans on the basis of evaluation? If there is any improvement plans made on the basis of evaluation, if applicable, you can click on yes. If not, you can click on no. I will be clicking on yes. Is the school registered under PFMS? PFMS usually stands for Public Finance Management System. So if these sorts of system has been integrated in your school, you can provide the details as yes, or select the details. If not, you can click on no. So I'll be clicking on no as of now, and click on save. Once saved, the data is configured, and as you can see, we also have this updated message of configured for Pgi and other indicators. Move to the dashboard, and you'll get to find that 50% of data has been configured for school session information. Proceeding with the other modules present in academic session, these are basically fee details, health program, Pedagogical Plan, CBSE Other Information. We will move with fee details. Click on Add and you're required to enter the details of fee structure applicable for each and every classes. If your school is private, you'll have to enter the fee as per your school and as per the classes. Enter the charges, your redevelopment fee if your school is government, and you can only make it applicable for those students who are required to provide the fee structure or any sort of development fee to the school. In this case, I will be entering fee details just to showcase fee details for class 7 and 8. I'll be entering the fee details for 7 and 8 for example purposes. We will move to the admission fee, which would be 4,000, 5,000 for class 8. As said, only fill up the form if it is applicable to the school. So we have tuition fee as 2,000 rupees for class 7, 2,000 rupees for class 8. Yearly development fee would be 500. Same goes for class 8. Annual monthly other charges. Annual monthly fee would be 1,700 for class 7 and 2,300 for class 8. So this way you can configure the fee structure for the classes. Once you click on Save, your data will be saved. As you can see on the screen, a success message appears alongside the fee details under Fee Details. The Not Configured option has changed into Configured, and you have a red batching, which means verification is required. Verification can only be done by school admin, so the details has been sent to the school admin for the verification. Likewise, we can add health program as well. So I will be clicking on this add button under the health program. Once I click on it, I have the health program details which I need to fill in. The male health and wellness ambassador health teacher. So if it is applicable, you can provide the details. So I'll be entering a demo data. Contact number of male health teacher. We have the name of the female health teacher and a contact number as well, and the name of health and wellness messenger 1. So you can provide the name of the health messenger, messenger A, only if it is applicable to your school. Number of health checkups conducted in the previous academic sessions, that is 2021, since our current session is 2022. How many health sessions were conducted in the 2021 session? If there were no health sessions conducted, you can provide it as 0. If one session was conducted, you can provide it as 1. Number of IFA albendazole tablets given to students. So number of tablets given to students, you can provide the details. In this case, I can provide it as 200. Number of students detected with major illness and health checkup, you can provide the details. I'll just write 0 out here. Number of health and wellness programs conducted or will be conducted in a particular academic session, you can provide the numbers. I will be entering 1. Is deworming tablets given to children? Deworming tablets are basically given to primary and junior children. So how many dosages are given? You can provide the details. Complete 2 dosages, partially 1 dose. I can write it down as 2 doses. If it is not applicable, you can click on Not Given. Iron and folic acid tablets given to children as per guidelines of WCD. As per the WCD guidelines, these tablets are required to be given to children. If it is given, you can provide the details as yes. If not given, you can click on No. In our case, it will be yes. Once you provide these details, click on Save. Once you click on Save, your data will be configured, and as you can see here, under Health Program, it says Configured. Move to the dashboard. Earlier it was 50%, and as we can see that it has increased to 75% configuration. Moving back to the session related details, we'll configure the last 2 modules. Under Pedagogical Plan, I can click on Add. Once you click on Add, the page for Pedagogical Plan or details will open up, wherein you will be able to add the plan for the particular academic session. So adoption of experiential pedagogy in which grades, under which grade the pedagogy scheme or the planning has been done. I will be choosing class 9 for the case, or I can choose class 4. You can also cancel class from here. I'll be choosing class 4 and class 5. For the annual pedagogical plans, prepared, submitted, and implemented. If it is submitted, you can provide it as yes. If not, leave it as it is. I'll be choosing yes. How many teachers has been trained on the annual theme of CBSE experimental learning and innovative pedagogy? You can provide the numbers, and once you enter the details, you can click on save. On saving, your details will be saved and sent for the verification process, and as we move to the dashboard, you'll get to find that the last 13% is left to complete 100% configuration for session information. So we have a last module for session, that is basically CBSE Other Information module. In order to add these details, you can click on add, and once you click on add, you'll be redirected to the CBSE and Other Information page. Here, you will find the badging of CBSE Other Information for session, Academic Session 2022, with a selection of textbooks for all grades as per the norms. Have textbooks been provided as per the norms or not for all grades? So I'll be choosing yes. Fill in the details only if it's applicable. Whether information as per para published on the school website, whether CBSE mandatory disclosure has been uploaded in your specific school website or not. So you can enter the details as yes if so. Number of teachers in school who download CBSE Shiksha Vani. You can provide the details. If 5 teachers have downloaded Shiksha Vani app, you can provide those details. Mandatory art education from class 1 to 10 2 periods a day. Since it was no in our earlier case, I'll be entering no. Whether prescribed books published on school website with written declaration as per section 2.4.7b of affiliation by law. Currently, no prescribed books has been published, so I'll be choosing no. Whether all guidelines related to POCSO Act compiled with as per section 14.25 of affiliation bylaws, so you can fill in the details only if it's applicable. I'll be choosing yes. Whether annual report contains information as per the laws, yes. Whether annual health checkup of students done and the records maintained, if you provide it as yes, since on a yearly basis, one's health checkups can build and records are kept by the school. Whether disabled students facilitated as per the affiliations bylaws, you can provide the details, so no, I'll be choosing no. Whether in-service training organized as per the affiliations bylaws, whether service training are provided in the school or not, you can provide the detail as well. In this case, I'll be choosing yes. Once you configure all these details under CBSE and Other Information, you can click on Save. As we can see, all the modules, session-based information, boarding information, environmental protection, Pgi and Other Indicators, fee details, health programs, pedagogical plan, CBSE and Other Information has been configured successfully, but we have this red badging in each and every submodule, which means it is ready for verification, and the details have been sent to the school admin for verification. Only after the verification, this badging will convert into green. Move to the dashboard to find that session information has been configured 100%, which means that we have completed the session information module through session-related details, and in the previous tutorial, we have covered the data entry process for infrastructure information as well as school information. We have also covered the tutorial for registration process and for login process. So if you have not familiarized yourself with those modules or with those tutorials, you can just watch it from a playlist itself. In our next upcoming tutorial, we will discuss about the data entry process of other modules such as grants and assistances, vocational details, photo albums, employee management, student registration, and many more. Stay tuned for the next tutorial on numerous other modules. Hoping this tutorial was helpful. Thank you so much for today. Thank you for watching.